When Jaguar launched the I-Pace back in 2018, it was one of the very first electric SUVs to go on sale on the market, and it was ahead of its time. 4 years later, however, the EV landscape has completely changed, and the I-Pace has a growing list of rivals to compete with. This includes the Audi E-Tron, Ford Mustang Mach-E, Mercedes EQC and Volvo XC40 Recharge, to name a few. In light of increased competition, Jaguar has updated the I-Pace for 2022 with faster charging, updated tech inside and subtle styling changes to include a new Black Edition specification. In Ireland, prices for the I-Pace start from around €75,000 and it has an electric range of up to 470 kilometers from a single charge. In this video, we'll show you inside and outside the I-Pace and tell you everything you need to know. But before we start, remember to check out Carzone.ie to find Jaguars for sale in Ireland from trusted sellers. Even though the I-Pace has been around for a few years now, it is still one of the most distinctive looking EVs on the market. Most recently, Jaguar has introduced a new Black Edition specification for the I-Pace, which updates the grille, window surrounds, door mirrors and badges to a black finish. Other Black Edition upgrades include a fixed panoramic roof, a tailgate spoiler and premium LED headlights. As standard, the I-Pace gets silver 19-inch alloy wheels, but the Black Edition gets larger 20-inch gloss black alloy wheels, which are a nice upgrade. Jaguar has also added some new colours for the I-Pace with 10 colours to choose from. Fuji White is standard, while this eye-catching Caesium Blue is an optional extra. All I-Pace models get a huge 90 kWh battery and also 100 kW DC charging as standard. Stepping inside, the Jaguar I-Pace feels suitably premium throughout, as you would expect from an EV at this price point. The biggest change with the updated model is Jaguar Land Rover's new Pivi Pro infotainment system, which is similar to the system that's used in the latest Land Rover Defender. This includes a 10-inch touchscreen on the dashboard, while higher spec models get another 5-inch touchscreen here for the climate controls. This one is a lower spec model, so it doesn't have the 5-inch touchscreen here. However, it does have lots of buttons in place for the climate controls. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both standard, while this one has an upgraded Meridian sound system, which is a must-have for music lovers. The touchscreen system is nice and it is good to use, but it does take some getting used to with lots of menus to navigate through, especially when you're driving. Like before, there is also a 12.3-inch digital driver's display, which shows all of your driving and EV information very clearly. With these nice toggle switches on the steering wheel, you can adjust the different displays shown at all times. When the I-Pace first launched to the market, it had a very impressive interior look and feel, and this is still the case with the latest model. Overall fit and finish is generally premium throughout, with lots of plush materials across the dashboard and doors. The I-Pace that we're testing here has light oyster leather upholstery, which is an €1,100 optional extra. When you sit into the I-Pace for the first time, it feels very spacious up front and the driving position is comfortable with 8-way electric seat adjustment as standard and plenty of adjustment through the steering wheel. There's lots of storage up front too, with a large compartment underneath the driver's armrest here, 2 large cup holders which you can take out should you want to. There's a useful area here for holding coins or for glasses, which is what I use, and also a useful tray for a smartphone. There's storage for water bottles in the doors too, while under the driver's armrest you get a USB-C charge point, a USB charge point, a 12-volt socket, and up front there is another USB charge point. The centre console area has button controls for selecting park, drive and reverse, along with controls to adjust the ride height of the car, as this one has electronic air suspension, which is a €1,700 optional extra. The I-Pace is spacious in the rear seats too, with good headroom for taller passengers, good legroom, and it is arguably better than the BMW iX3 or Mercedes EQC for rear seat comfort. Sitting into the middle seat, however, isn't as comfortable. This console area here restricts legroom slightly, while the seat itself is quite narrow. This Black Edition model has a full-length fixed panoramic roof which lets light into the cabin and makes it feel bright and spacious back here. There's also useful storage trays underneath the seats, along with helpful storage nets on the backs of the seats. Elsewhere, there are two USB-C charge points, a 12-volt socket, and also a large armrest with two cup holders built in. It's also good that this whole section drops down easily if you want access to the boot or to carry larger items like skis. There's also two sets of Isofix mounts in the rear for family buyers, but it is worth noting that the I-Pace is only available with 5 seats and it doesn't have a 7-seat option like you get with the Tesla Model X. Boot space in the I-Pace is good. With 656 litres of room, it's more than you get in the Audi E-Tron or the Mercedes EQC. Drop the rear seats down and space increases to 1,453 litres, while the floor is flat, which makes it easy to slide large items in and out. There's also a useful storage area underneath the floor for your charge cables, along with a 12-volt socket and hooks for storing your shopping bags in place. There's also a small storage area underneath the bonnet which is useful for charge cables again, but not much else. The I-Pace drives much the same as before with a huge 90 kilowatt-hour battery and 2 electric motors, one on the front axle and one on the rear axle. With 400 horsepower and all-wheel drive, power delivery is instantaneous. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour takes just 4.5 seconds under hard acceleration. What stands out when you drive the I-Pace is the way it handles through corners. It is very enjoyable to drive and it grips the road with confidence. Even though it weighs 2.2 tons, it doesn't feel heavy from behind the wheel with good steering feel and response. It's definitely one of the best EVs for driver enjoyment. Through corners, it is much more convincing than the Audi e-tron or the Mercedes EQC. The I-Pace's ride quality is good and it is very comfortable even on bumpier road surfaces and with the larger 20-inch wheels on this test car. Generally, the I-Pace is very comfortable and well suited to Irish roads. There is 2 different settings for regenerative braking, high and low, but you do have to adjust this through the touchscreen system where most other EVs tend to have paddles behind the steering wheel for adjusting. It is also worth noting that rear visibility out of the cabin isn't great due to the small sloping rear window. That said, the I-Pace now gets a 360-degree around view monitor and a clear reversing camera, which reduces this issue somewhat. New software means the I-Pace's usable battery has increased to 84 kilowatt hours and it has a claimed range of up to 470 kilometers from a charge, which is more than many of its rivals. We achieved closer to 400 kilometers of range during our test in cold and wintry conditions, averaging 21 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers of driving. There are different driving modes with Eco, Comfort and Sport, but we found the Eco mode offers sufficient power for most driving needs. The good news is that the new I-Pace now has a 3-phase 11 kilowatt onboard charger, whereas it previously had a single-phase 7 kilowatt onboard charger. This means if you have an 11 kilowatt AC home charger, the I-Pace can fully charge at 11 kilowatts in around 9 hours overnight, whereas previously this would have taken around 13 hours in the old model. In terms of rapid charging, the maximum charge speed that the I-Pace can accept is 100 kilowatts, so it will take around 40 minutes to charge up to 80% with a rapid 100 kilowatt DC charger. While that's good, lots of the I-Pace's rivals offer faster rapid charging speeds of over 200 kilowatts, including the Tesla Model Y and even more affordable EVs such as the Kia EV6 and Hyundai Ioniq 5. That said, there are still relatively few chargers in Ireland that can charge beyond 100 kilowatts. With a more common 50 kilowatt DC charger, the I-Pace can charge up to 80% in around 85 minutes. This I-Pace Black Edition also gets lots of safety tech as standard, including traffic sign recognition with an adaptive speed limiter, a driver condition monitor, lane keep assist and lots more. In Ireland, the Jaguar I-Pace is available in 4 different specifications: S, Black Edition, SE and HSE. The Black Edition model that we're driving here starts from €78,400 and it adds lots of desirable extras, including the larger gloss black 20-inch wheels, premium LED headlights, 12-way electric memory seats, the black exterior design pack, panoramic glass roof and lots more. If you want even more spec, the SE starts from €96,000 while the range-topping HSE model starts from a whopping €103,000. So, should you buy the new Jaguar I-Pace? Well, if you're looking for a premium EV that offers good real-world range, has a luxurious interior and one that is very good to drive too, it is definitely one to consider. That said, it carries a high price tag, especially in the higher specification models, while some of its rivals offer faster, rapid charging speeds. Overall, the I-Pace stands apart from most other premium EVs on the market right now in how it looks and how it drives, and for that reason, it remains one of the standout options. Check out Carzone.ie to read our full written review of the new Jaguar I-Pace, where you can also find Jaguars for sale in Ireland from trusted sellers.